Okay, morning everybody. So I hope you are doing well. And then my side, I can only be better because you won't, you won't believe me when I say that to you. But this is the third time I'm actually recording this video. For the first two times, I don't know what happened. Well, I know what happened. Effectively, there was no sound, so I'm just doing that again. So apologies, right? So if you happen to look at the previous video and there were no sound, so I thought, no, I need to make sure that now I can deliver, right? So if you can hear me, just leave a comment, and then I would greatly appreciate that. Yeah. So what are we going to talk about today? Right. One of the things that I've regularly heard from people, especially people looking to invest into renewable energy in Africa, is the saying that either they have invested before and they've lost lots of money and they pulled out, or they're thinking of investing, but yeah, they're not too sure because obviously they are scared that it may not be the right environment for them and they may be losing a lot of money. And as a result of that, they are refraining, right? So all of that, it's kind of sad and heartbreaking, isn't it? Because you want investors definitely to come into the space, especially as private investors, because we need that. So how do you avoid it? Yeah. So how do I avoid pushing people back? And I'm saying these people, what I would say is they're usually three mistakes that I can see many of the people do, and as a result of that, coming out that with a bad experience. And this is what I want to talk to you about today. So if you first time into this channel, so my name is Tony Teo. I'm the founder and CEO of Renewables in Africa. That's my company. It's Yo Africa Clean Energy Champion. And the reason we've done this channel is very simple: is to demystify the renewable energy sector for you, right? So that you feel much more comfortable evolving into it. So whether you're an investor, whether you're a professional, whether you're a business, you find in here answers to a lot of your questions. I would already suggest that you look at all the videos that we've done before, and I'm sure there will be more than one or two videos that will be interesting for you. If you haven't done it yet, it's still time to subscribe. Yes. And also, you know that, you know, bell, right? So press the bell. Why? Very simple. Because when I go live like that, so you can watch the video. And if you happen as well to have some time, you can also ask me question live and I can respond to that, right? So that could be your lucky day. So yeah, that's it. So thank you, by the way, for your support. We greatly appreciate that. Now, investing into Africa. As I say, people are making a lot of mistakes, and I want to talk to you about that. And the reason I want to talk to you about that because throughout the last 5 years of existence that the company has had renewables in Africa, so I've had a chance to engage with lots of different people, whether they developers, whether they investors, whether they professionals, right? And also from my 10 years, more than 10 years experience into the sector, and you would argue you could see some pattern, right? And that's what you want to see. And I want to share that with you so that if you are new into the sector, or maybe you invest into the sector, maybe you can recognize that and that can help you making sure next time you don't do the same mistakes. Or if you haven't done it yet, you just avoid them altogether is even better, right? So that's the reason I want to talk to you about those three mistakes that I have identified into the sector. So let's start talking about that. So the first mistake that I could see that people are making, it's about connecting with what I call random people that are from Africa. For example, I go into a conference, I talk to this guy, he's telling me that he's from Togo, or maybe he's from, I don't know, Namibia. And that's great because I was looking at investing into Africa. All of a sudden, he can be the guy who can take me to some of the juiciest opportunity to the continent, right? So, okay, it's a little bit of a caricature, but I'm sure you understand what I mean. Yeah, and I usually say, imagine you were to have the same, I would say, the same approach. Thinking of somebody because he's from France, right, or he's from Germany, or he's from America, can allow you to tap into those markets, right? Isn't it a little bit too big, isn't it, right? So it wouldn't really make sense because You want to check that this person, by the way, I'm saying the person, that could be a company, right? So you want to make sure that they have the right knowledge of the industry, right? So you need to test that. You need to check that effectively what they say makes sense. Yeah, it's very important for you to know that you're dealing with the right person. You want to check that they have the right approach, because if they don't have the right approach, they could be taking you into a rabbit hole and you never can get out of it. Yeah, this is not what you want. You want to make sure you check that. You want to make sure that they are reliable but also trustworthy. Very, very important, because your reputation matter, right? You don't have time to wait, I'm sure. You want to make sure you talk to the right people. You also want to make sure that they understand your investment requirements, because it will not be the same for people, because it depends what is your risk appetite. Some people are very much risk averse, others are keen to go a little bit more. I give you an example. Some people may be saying, hey, listen, when I invest into a project, I simply want to have, you know, ready PPA opportunities where the PPA has already been signed, right? And everything has been is shovel ready, as usually you hear. And I'm happy to step into that. Other people say, no, I'm happy to come a little bit early and take a little bit of development risk as well. I don't mind doing that. Okay. Other people will say, no, all I'm interested in is the secondary market, where the asset is already operational, is already generating cash, and I just want to buy off somebody else, right? Taking some equity of somebody else who was invested before. So it depends. So what I'm saying, you want to make sure that whoever you're talking to about it understand this language, yeah, and understand this industry. Very important, because you can be wasting your own time like that by not checking that the person knows what you're talking about. So don't just connect to any random people, even if they look very, very nice at first, right? And they know how to talk to you. But I'm sure many of you will agree with this point. It may sound a bit trivial, but it's very important. Okay, so that was the first mistake that I see lots of people making. You could be surprised, lots of people still making this mistake. So the second mistake that I see people making is they don't have sufficient knowledge of the market. Yeah, when I hear people usually say, I want to invest into Africa, great, up until there, no problem at all. Now the question becomes, where in Africa? Because it's a huge place. Are we talking about West Africa? Are we talking about East Africa? Are we talking about Southern Africa, Central Africa, North Africa? I don't know. Yeah. And for any of those blocks, what industry exactly are you talking about? Are we talking about utility scale, mini grid, CNI? It varies. You want to have a knowledge about those specific places, yeah, and those specific markets. It's very important for you to develop that. And I will also argue, have you been in the place yourself? Because it's good to be relying on market reports, right? They are very useful, don't get me wrong, right? But it's also good to talk to people on the ground. And even better, if you have had time, to spend uh, a little bit, a few weeks in the place with you over there, that could be also very good, because you will get some better feelings, better impression about how this market is looking like for you. So this is what I'm saying. Finding time as well for you to travel there, it's very important. So I would strongly recommend that to you, yeah, if you can. And if you can't, find people that who have time to do it on your behalf, people that can scout for opportunity on your behalf, right? And you will work with them. There's some nice consultant, nice person, no problem. If you come to us, I'm sure we can talk to you about that. But yeah, hey, but there are many people out there, because I know the place can be seen as very risky, and it's a risky place, I understand, but that's also where you have probably some of the best opportunities, I can tell you. And one thing that I would say, don't only rely on your perception, because a lot of it is also perception. Because if asking you what is the default rate, how does it compare to many other places, in the world, the default rate in Africa, right? So you'll be surprised to know that Africa has one of the lowest default rates in the world. Yes, and it tells you something. Yeah, it means that once you've lent some money to people over there, they pay you back. The project will pay you back. Yeah. So most, like I say, is a lower default rate. Okay, at time you may have some delays in repayment. It happened, but like I say, you're still gonna get your money. And you should also have the right level of risk mitigation in place, risk mitigation solution in place. Then you be good, right? So this is what I'm talking to you about. Okay, that's bad. Okay, now let me move into the third mistakes that sometimes people will make, right? So and that's simply not having enough patience, having no patience at all, or having no budget or very unrealistic budget. Because you've heard it a lot. And let me confirm it. Yes, it takes time to make things happen in Africa. Yes, this is a place where you need to have a long term vision for what you are looking at, right? So if you go in there because you want to spend a couple of months, reap the benefit, and leave, it's very unlikely it's going to happen. This is not the place now because you need to get time to learn things properly and to make sure that you put your strategy into place and you're now starting reaping the rewards. Yeah, it's very important. Let me give you an example. Yeah, so we recently worked with a company. I won't name them obviously for confidentiality purposes, but it's a company, very serious company, yeah, very big company. So they've done their research, great. So they knew exactly where they wanted to go. They were interested, someplace in East Africa, not Southern Africa. So up until there, that's okay. So they've done market research. They've approached the right people. Hey, they work with us, so they've approached the right kind of people. But this is where things start getting a little bit weird or is it wrong? They wanted to roll out the market entry in two phases. Oh, great. The first one was going to be a pilot. Oh, great so far. But they wanted to do a 2 months pilot. This is where the thing started to get a little bit wrong in our eyes. 2 months pilot in the continent. And more impressively, basically the idea was to put together a pilot whereby because they wanted to enter retail solar market in Africa. So they wanted to roll out a pilot whereby obviously initial customers were going to be approached, and there was going to be a finance-based solution offered to them, and for them, once they sign into the solution, then product can be deployed, to them. So finance solutions in Africa, right? 2 months a pilot, 2 months. That's only the time, only for one person, just for them to make a decision. Then yes, they want to move to the next step. You see what I'm saying? So if you're expecting that in 2 months time you're gonna be landing, rolling out the project, the solutions, and start getting some revenue, it's very, very. It couldn't be further from the actual reality, right? So I will like it, and that's what I told them, right? I say, listen, if you're looking for at the pilot, that's great. That's the right way, the right move. But you wouldn't be looking at less than 6 months time to get your pilot in place and to start getting some result before moving, at least, if not more. I'm not saying you can't have quicker result than that, but what I'm saying, if you are at the planning stages where you obviously figuring out how you're gonna do things like that, so it's better to be cautious, having a cautious approach, right? Having a 6 months that allow you to at least see things happening, put some system in place, some processes in place for you to now collecting the result, analyze them, and see what they can give you. So if it's less than that, and I'm saying no. Also, if you're in a CNI market, right? Let's say you made a great proposal, right, to to a business owner who's looking to go solar. This business owner will be telling you, okay, I like your proposal, but I need to talk to my board. And unfortunately, the board only meets once, let's say, every 2 months. Yeah, it's possible. And he's telling you, but until I can meet the board, I can't do that. Okay, I can have an extraordinary meeting that I set up before, but that still won't happen before 2 or 3 weeks for whatever reason. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And once you met people, they will need to different iteration, or let's say a number of meetings before they can decide. So that's just a couple of examples where you could see things can be that quick. So you have to be patient. You need to have a long-term vision. You need to be, you know, uh, yeah, patient. That's the word. Yeah, long-term vision, and you need to have the budget that goes with that. Because, for example, if you want to uh, 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 search for opportunity, you want to source some opportunities, you need people on the ground that will get those opportunities for you. And most of the time, you need to definitely make sure that you support these people as well financially. Maybe you have some consultant, I don't know. If you imagine that people are going to do that, let's on success fee basis, personally, it's an approach I don't think it works. I just don't think it works. Like I say, look at what you're doing in other markets, yeah, and then see whether it gives you a better result. If it happened that, let's say, you've done it somewhere in Europe, you work, no problem, and the continent is very difficult, because to find the right opportunity, they're not that many. That's number one. And because they're not that many, yeah, so you need to go and find them. You need to know where to go find them. And once you found them, you need to make sure that you know how to position yourself. So that requires a certain investment, right? For you to set up the system, the team in place to be able to, to go and chase those opportunities and also capture them. So you can't just talk to somebody and expect they're going to do all of that for you. No, it won't happen. And especially these guys, so those agents that you may have, they may be taken to many other people's, right? So obviously they'll be more interested by whoever is looking after them a bit better. So yeah. Oh, by the way, don't get me wrong. I'm not asking you here to to give something under the table. This is not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you want to enter the market, you need to have a budget to make sure that you can support the operation. Yeah, it just makes sense. Yeah. So this is what I think. So those are the three mistakes that I see people on regular basis will make, right? So I talked about the fact that they would just connect with any random guy, people from Africa or company from Africa. They think, oh, hey, all of a sudden they bring you the nicest opportunity. No, doesn't work. I don't think so. They also think that, okay, I may not have enough knowledge about the market, but I can go there. I can just connect with a couple of people, get the opportunity. No, develop a proper understanding of the market. Take time to do it. If you don't have that knowledge yourself, go find people that have the knowledge, and don't be shy on investing into it. To source project. You may not know that, but on average, investors, right, will spend about 400,000 a year source project, and I can tell you they don't always get great result. Why? Because, as I say, so they make some of these mistakes, right? They don't actually engage the right people, and they don't take the time to build to get the right support. So you need to know the market. And third, as I mentioned, patience. Yeah, it could be rough, difficult the first couple of years, but if you build your net wide and properly solid, you may start reaping the benefit later on. Yeah. So that's important. And also make sure that you have a budget that will support your market entry, because if you don't have that, you're going to run out of fuel very quickly. Yeah. And you will have no choice but just to give up and move away. However, if you do that, you will see you'll start getting some very good results. So I know people that are doing very well. I know people doing very well. And like I say, success leaves clues. And what I'm sharing with you here is a couple of ideas, a couple of nuggets for you to know or what to do. Obviously, we can talk more because that was just a short YouTube video. We can talk more. And for those of you who wants to know a little bit more, so what I'm doing for the coming weeks on Wednesday and Thursday, you can already book a slot with me to talk a little bit more about this topic. And the great thing is I've seen people already booking, which is great. So those are half an hour free session that I'm happy to give, to share a bit of our knowledge. So definitely do that. And also tomorrow and at the Monday, Tuesday, I'm going to be at the Investing Africa Summit. AFSIC Summit is in London. So you can also meet me there in person, right? So we can also talk there. And on the second day, by the way, I'm going to be uh, moderating a panel talking about whether leapfrogging, whether the grid is obsolete. When is the grid going to be obsolete in Africa, or should it go obsolete? Should it be obsolete, right? So it's on Tuesday. So you can meet me in person, and but otherwise you can just, as I say, book a slot in the meeting in the link that is provided in the comment box. And if you've missed any all of those two opportunities, great opportunities for us to engage, you can always reach out to me on LinkedIn. That's the best place to reach out to me, and find time to respond. Either I can speak to you directly. If I can't speak to you, I get one of my colleagues to book a slot for us in the right time. Okay, that was superb. So I'm sure this time it worked, right? I won't have to do that fourth time. Come on, guys. No, I'm sure it'll be good this time. So this is Tony Teo, founder and CEO of Renewables in Africa, and also the author of The Wind Energy Outlook in Africa that I released in 2017. And like I usually say, all that is left for me to say is, may the sun be with you. Get better, which means thank you, my language. Have a beautiful Sunday, guys.